Hello, this is Paul, and welcome to Unit 10. This unit used to be Unit 11, but in a reorganization of the site and the studies that we have at the church, it is now number 10, but there is nothing going to be lost. Instead, there are going to be things added to what was previously taught. And in this unit, we're going to be talking about compatibility mode, the compatibility mode of your computer. I'd like to refer to what I go in the opening with the classes concerning what you do with a CD when you get in a car. You put it into the player and it will turn on and start playing immediately. Now, this unit in the car is not near as expensive as what your computer is. And why should your computer work any differently? As it is, the way you get your computer, it is basically a dumb machine. And when you get your machine, you have to train it to do what you want it to do. And one of the things you want to do is to put it into a mode to recognize what's on the CD or DVD or Blu-ray, whatever the case may be, and act appropriately. And that is what this unit is about. What I mean by this is when you put a CD in your computer and it has nothing but music on it, you will want it to play the music or copy it onto the hard drive in a collection of music that you have stored on it and do whatever you expect it to do. If it is a CD that is going to install a program, you will also want it to work appropriately. And if you have pictures on that CD, you do want it to be compatible to do what you want to do, either to show those pictures in a slideshow or to copy them onto a specific folder on your computer to add to your collection as well. Now, what I'm really talking about is removable drives, specifically CD, DVD, or Blu-ray drives. And there can be more than one drive on any computer. There can be 2, 3, whatever the case may be. One might be a CD, the next one might be a DVD, or the third one could be a Blu-ray, or you could have everything all wrapped up into one removable drive as a Blu-ray combo drive that recognizes all formats. Whatever the case may be, you can set up the mode of operation when you simply put a CD or a Blu-ray disc into it, and it will recognize what your desire is. You might realize that on the computer, unlike your car, the autoplay of your removable disc is selectable, whereas in the car it's not. It'll only do one thing. So you do have a choice on your computer. Now, to do this operation, we're going to go to My Computer. My Computer will show you the different drives that are installed on your computer, and we're talking about the CD or the disk drives that are on your machine that you can set the modes as you wish it to operate. Now, mind you, I want you to remember not to have anything in these drives. In other words, the disk drive that you're going to set these on is going to be empty drives. So remember that we are setting the element of compatibility to operate as you wish by setting up the drive without a disk so that when it receives a disk, it will know what to do when it reads what's on it. Now, on this display, you take notice that I do have a DVD drive that is labeled F, and D is my CDRW drive, and there must be another drive in between. but everybody will have a D drive. Specifically, this CD drive could be an E drive if you have a partition on your C drive to make that a D. So it'll bump up to whatever level it might be, but it'll always be recognized as a CD drive or a DV drive. And out of these, you're going to be able to select the compatibility to recognize what is on a disk when it's inserted. Now what we're going to do is take the icon of our CD drive and right click on the icon or the picture of that selection, and we get this menu. Right click will always bring up a menu, if you remember, and we'll be able to left click on properties. The properties menu will enable us to make these selections. Once this window opens, don't be alarmed by what you see with the pie chart. It is no use space on it, and it also has no free space, and that's because there's no disk in there. But look across the top and you'll notice the tabs up there, and we need to click on autoplay. In that autoplay display, we'll be able to see the selections we're able to make. After making this selection, you'll take notice that music files is automatically selected. And there is a variety of different formats for what music files would be stored on the disk. And if we press the down arrow key to the right of it, you'll be able to see a list of other types of files that is recognized on the CD. After pressing that down arrow, take notice that along with music files, we do have pictures, videos, and music CD. They will all be recognized as you put your disc in there, but then very often you might put a disc in that has mixed content. That means that there are files on there that might be of a spreadsheet, letters, or whatever it may be, along with pictures or videos and music. So that in this different settings for each selection here, you'll be able to instruct your computer to act as you wish. Now, looking at the selection of pictures, take notice in the white box in the center, there is a list of items that you can choose for it to act on. For example, for pictures, you might want to copy the pictures onto your computer or view them as a slideshow. And be sure to use the scroll bar on the right to see other selections, as this has more than what can be viewed in the window. So there is a variety for each different selection you make when you use that down arrow, and this list will change appropriately. What I'm pointing to now is what is called a radio button. It's a small circle, and there's another radio button under the word actions above there. Select an action to perform, has a marker inside of it. A radio button can be selected only one at a time. If you select this radio button on the bottom, the other one will be deselected and only the one selection will be made. In this case, when you change that selection, it will prompt you to ask you what you want to do as you put in a CD. Now, this is the same as any other of the windows that I have shown you, that you will need to use the apply button when you make a single change on there and you want to store it. However, the OK button will enable you to save it and close down. But using the apply button, you'll be able to make changes and have them changed but continue to work in this window. And maybe you might want to do that until you have selected each one of those different selections on the top to pick out how you want your computer to operate. Now, with each change that you make, please remember to use the Apply button so that you do make those changes stay while you go and work on another portion to make all the selections, and then you're finally ready to close down the window. Taking the time to go through this procedure will make your machine much more friendly for you, and you'll be able to enjoy the CDs that you have just by pushing them into your drive and have the machine logically know what you want to do beforehand. In the next portion, we're going to get into how compatibility can be applied to programs when they're installed on your machine. This is Paul Jones, and I thank you for watching, and I hope you're ready to move on to the next part of this very important lesson.